Welcome, dear viewer, to the first edition of Black Pill, White Pill. The topic is, of course, Trump's airstrikes in Syria against Bashar al-Assad. I will be presenting to you first the black pill as a negative analysis or viewpoint, then a white pill as an opposing viewpoint and positive analysis of the situation. So I implore you, watch the video in its entirety to get both the black pill and the white pill so you can construct an informed, well-rounded opinion on the matter. Enjoy the video. Well, it appears Donald Trump just handed a significant victory to some very unsavory people. Those people being, of course, ISIS, the neocons like John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Jared Kushner, Paul Ryan, and the like. And of course, the neoliberals who have been pounding the war drum against Russia, since, before Trump's election. I think this was an emotional reaction from Trump from seeing those horrific images on television, because this was a complete 180 from what he ran on, from his policy agenda, from everything that he stood for, not just throughout the campaign season, but throughout the Obama presidency. He multiple times criticized Obama for intervening in Syria. He's criticized the Bush administration for lying about weapons of mass destruction, and here we are attacking a country within a day of a supposed WMD attack. The jury's still out on whether or not this was simply an accident in which a conventional bomb was dropped on a chemical weapons factory, causing seepage of chemical gas, or if this was an actual chemical weapons attack by Bashar al-Assad. Honestly, that is completely irrelevant. Children die every day. It is not the U.S.'s business to jump into Syria and start bombing an ally of a nuclear power. Now, this did hand over significant victory to ISIS, mainly because this severely set back our war effort against ISIS, whatever the hell you want to call these savages, barbarians. This handicapped ourselves, tied our hands behind our back greatly, and worsened our chances of military cooperation with Russia. Now, why do I say this? Well, this is because Russia, just in response to this military strike, suspended multiple agreements of military cooperation with the United States. That being, of course, general communications to coordinate military strikes on ISIS and airspace access for our drones to carry out strikes against ISIS. We can't exactly carry out strikes against ISIS and drop bombs on their head if we can't even fly over them, now can we? Throughout the campaign season, Trump ran on a platform, in terms of foreign policy, of cooperation with Russia to destroy ISIS. And this is a complete 180 from every campaign promise that he made regarding foreign policy. Now, I'm not going to blow this out of proportion and say that this is a complete betrayal of everything that Trump stood for, or that this has caused irreversible damage, or that Donald Trump is the new George W. Bush, okay? That is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this was a serious miscalculation and mistake. I think he was listening to the wrong advisors. I want to know where Steve Bannon is in all this. I think he's listening too much to the Jared Kushners, maybe even to the General Mattises. I don't know, but Lindsey Graham and John McCain and Paul Ryan and the rest of the neocon scum are giving him a nice slow clap for this. And if you're getting applause or approval from John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Paul Ryan, or the like, you've done something wrong. This entire situation. Let's look at the worst case scenario, that being that what Russia and Syria is saying is the truth, in that Assad dropped a conventional bomb on a rebel chemical weapons factory. There was seepage from the factory that ended up killing civilians. In which case, this strike was totally unwarranted and severely hampered our ability to fight ISIS in the region and set back our chances of military cooperation with Russia significantly. Didn't completely destroy them, but severely hampered them. That's all. This is not Iraq 2.0, like many people have been saying. It just simply isn't. Now, we will see moving forward, if this continues to escalate, then yes, this may be a reason to withdraw your support for Trump. I highly, highly doubt that we are going to be going to war with Syria. I highly doubt that this is a case in which we're going to be enacting regime change. This is that would indeed be a complete betrayal of Trump's foreign policy, of everything that he stood for, of all of his campaign promises, of his America First mantra. If we enact a regime change, that would be a reason to react like people are reacting now. This was a simple strike against Syria's logistical military capabilities. Now, next time some tin pot despot in the Middle East thinks about using weapons of mass destruction or slaughtering their own people or crossing a red line that Trump draws, they may think twice and not do it. Trump may have saved more lives in Syria, the Middle East, and Northern Horn of Africa by his actions this week than Obama did in all of his years in office. And this strike will have far wider effects. It was undertaken while Chinese President Xi was with Trump in Florida. Surely this new image of a president willing to act decisively will affect their conversations about North Korea, who's been threatening the world with fucking nukes. That is a serious situation that you want to be coming to the negotiation table at a position of strength. Vladimir Putin may think again about his relations with the United States and realize that the Obama years of weakness and passivity are over. Allies and friends are cheering, like the Jordanians and the Kurds, while enemies are realizing the times have changed. When next the Iranians consider swarming around an American ship in the Gulf, they may think again and not do it. And of course, this was a light, easy lift for the military. A few dozen Tomahawk missiles, one airbase as a target, yet our previous president refused to even do that. This one acted, and he acted decisively. He did not let worries about the possible Russian reaction scare him off. He understood that this would not end the war in Syria, but he did it anyways. He was willing to act alone, without demanding a UN Security Council meeting or congressional vote, and of course, this type of leadership pays off. He has shown that when he draws a red line, he is willing to act swiftly and act decisively when it is crossed. Henceforth, when he goes to the negotiation table and speaks of American conditions and demands, interests and desires, far more attention and consideration will be paid. Every official in every foreign government has been trying to figure Trump out since he was elected November 8th. This week gave them a lot more to think about. He took command and issued orders. He didn't draw a red line and then withdraw it, but instead called Assad's actions intolerable. That overused word. And then proceeded to show that when he says intolerable, unlike the Obama administration, he meant it. Trump's decision may create an opportunity for negotiations over Syria. The talks have never been serious because America was never taken seriously. One can never achieve at the conference table what one fails to achieve on the battlefield. But the battlefield may look a bit different now. It may be worth a try. Trump is now coming in a position of strength and power. And when he says that he will draw a red line, if it is crossed, people know that he will act. Other leaders know that when Trump says he will do something, he will do it. Going to the negotiation table in Syria with Russia and Bashar al-Assad now may be worth a try. Trump is right in saying that there were earlier opportunities in Syria and that he inherited a big mess from the Obama administration. But perhaps it's a bit different now. Perhaps some sort of a real ceasefire or truce is attainable this year. And he has certainly boosted those chances. The president has obviously not solved the problem of war in Syria, or that of ISIS, or of Al-Qaeda, or of a rising China, or aggressive Iran, or a hostile North Korea. Of course not. Moreover, he may waver in the coming months. To wonder if the Syria strike is a one-time emotional response to the Syrian gas attack, which it may very well be. But he has put the US back on the map as a world leader. Now consider the alternatives. Syria uses sarin gas to kill babies, defies US orders, crosses a red line, and then laughs at us, laughs at the Security Council. The US must be taken seriously on the battlefield if they are to be taken seriously at the negotiation table. And that is the second point of view, that Trump acted decisively and correctly, and that his actions may actually have saved many, many lives. And that this may be just one move in a larger chess match. Consider the target, once again, a single airfield in which he notified the Russians in advance, who no doubt notified the Syrians. He struck a single airfield with 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles. He could have done a lot more. He could have used this as a precursor for war. This was simply a show of strength that puts him in a position of strength at the negotiation table. Not just with Russia and not just with Syria, but with China and with every other hostile nation in the world. Now I've presented 2 points of view, 2 very different, opposing points of view, and it is up to you, dear viewer, to choose which you prefer and which you will believe and take to heart. Anyways, this is DFox, signing off until next time.